The Voyeurs is a brand new Amazon Prime original movie that stars Sydney Sweeney, Justice Smith, Ben Hardy, and Natasha Liu Bordizzo, and tells a story about this couple played by Sweeney and Smith who just moved in. They're newlyweds and they just moved into an apartment, and right across the street from them, their neighbors. There you can see their whole window open. They're doing all kinds of things and very sexual things, and that leads to Sydney Sweeney's character being addicted to what's going on in their lives instead of what's going on in her own marriage. The film is an hour and 2 hours long, 2 hours long exactly, and is rated R. My name is Max. Welcome to a brand new movie review here in Mac Talks. We're talking The Voyeurs, which is a pretty divisive film. I can already tell when this movie comes out on Amazon Prime. So if you're new to the channel, guys, please like the video. That's the best way to support this channel. A thumbs up button down below. Also, comment down below your thoughts. First of all, if you've seen The Voyeurs on Amazon Prime yet already, please let me know your thoughts in non-spoiler fashion in the comment section down below. If not, tell me, will you see this weekend? A lot of movies coming out this weekend, both streaming and in theater. So let me know, is this one of the movies you'll see this weekend? Also, please comment. Also, please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, streaming platform reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show. So I do all of those things here on the channel, and we're growing really fast. So please join the train, subscribe, get us to 100 subscribers. Let's talk about The Voyeur. So this is an erotic thriller, and this is a movie, that type of genre that I'm just not as familiar with. Obviously, I've seen the 50 Shades of Grey films, but other than that, I really just don't watch erotic thrillers. Also, with this caliber of cast, you don't really see erotic thrillers with this deep of cast, I would say. And I just didn't know what to expect heading in. I knew it was an erotic thriller. I knew the cast. Sydney Sweeney's an actress who I just know from Euphoria. I saw her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in a very, very small role, but really loved her in Euphoria. Can't wait for season 2 of that. I know Justice Smith is a very divisive actor, really just because of the Jurassic World, but I really enjoyed him in Paper Towns. I really enjoyed him in a Netflix movie, All the Bright Places last year, which is what I was very high on that movie compared to most people. I thought he was fantastic in that, and he was really solid in Detective Pikachu as well. So I enjoy these two lead actors, and I just was hoping for a solid enough story on why all these sexual things are happening during the film. And let's get to my positives first. The big positive I have with the movie is by far the cast. They are clearly doing the best job that they are given. Sydney Sweeney is far and away the lead character of this movie. I did think she was fine, nowhere near as good as her work in Euphoria. I thought that she, in the first half of the movie, was actually really good. And in the second half of the movie, her performance and character takes a big dip in the second half of the movie. And that was a big disappointment I had, but I'll get to my negatives in a little bit. But Sweeney herself clearly did the best job that she was given. She has the movie's really on her shoulders. Why we're caring about the movies is her interest in the neighbors across the street. Justice Smith plays her husband, Thomas, who's, in my opinion, by far the best character in the entire movie. He's probably the only person who feels like a real person, I would say, in this movie, because this movie becomes a really bit of a cartoon in the third act. And when you have Justice Smith, who's such a real character, it's so actually nice to see, because I wish all the characters were like Justice Smith in the movie, but he's really good in the movie. He has a different, I guess, accent. His voice tone is different than you'll see in any of his other movies. But I did really enjoy his character. Him and Sweeney did have really good chemistry together. Ben Hardy is also quite solid as Seb. He's the main male character who the neighbors are looking at. He's also quite good in this movie, especially towards the last 20 minutes of the movie. And Natasha Liu Bordizzo is also quite good as well. And I just want to get into my negatives, because I'm just gonna say it clear as always. I'm very honest with you guys. I just did not like this movie, and this movie is clearly not for me, but also I just did not like this movie because I thought the first act was actually okay, watchable, okay. It's very much Rear Window, just with a big sexual twist into it. We're seeing all of these sex scenes, all these naked people. But it just, at times, it becomes a cartoon in the second half of this movie. The first half of this movie, I would say, was bad, but not awful. And then the second half of this movie is really awful. And it just doesn't come all the way together. There are many twists and turns that I cannot talk about here in spoiler fashion, but it just became a fake. It was like you were kind of watching real people, and then the fantasy aspect, I guess, of the movie completely takes over in the second half of this movie, because there are things that characters are doing and the actual story that doesn't make logical sense whatsoever. And it completely pulled me out of the movie, because I had, first of all, no idea why characters were making these dumb decisions and how this could be happening in a real life, because the movie is clearly trying to have a message that Sydney Sweeney's character is so focused on her neighbor's life that she's completely forgetting about her own marriage, her own life. And I get that, but they really beat you over the head with why this is the message of the movie. It's one of the biggest forceful messages I've seen in a movie all year. And it's really blatant and it's really annoying. And it kind of makes you as the audience feel really stupid, especially towards the third act of this movie, which is absolutely bonkers in all the wrong reasons. The last 15 minutes blew my mind on how bad and what was actually happening, how bad it was. As I said, it became a Rear Window just ripoff in the first half of the movie. It's kind of what I felt like, just with a sexual twist into it. It was clearly just a Rear Window ripoff, how we're just getting scenes of them in their apartment and then the other people in their apartment, just going the back and forth with the whole binoculars. It was just so out of Rear Window. And we've already saw a movie like that this year called The Women in the Window, which even that's not a good movie, and that's better than this movie. And as I said, Sydney Sweeney's character is so unlikable. She's actually likable for the first, I would say, 10, 15 minutes in the movie. And then once she starts becoming addicted to their lives, you just don't care about the character anymore, because she's forgetting about Justice Smith. And you're kind of like, why are we rooting for her if she's forgetting about her own husband, who she's known for a long time, and her own life? She's not a likable character. And that's what this movie desperately needed, because Justice Smith sadly is not in the movie as much as you think, especially with how good of a performance it is. And the character is clearly the best part of the whole movie. He needed to be in the movie a lot more. And he sadly just is not. Again, this movie becomes, as I said, a cartoon. I know it's a fantasy sex type of movie. And I know a lot of you people not you people, a lot of fans, of course, do like this genre. I'm not denying that. But this movie does set up a kind of serious movie, and then it turns into a cartoon. And that's, if it was the tone the whole movie and I didn't like it, I can come out and tell you it just wasn't for me. And that's okay. If you guys like that type of tone, that's for you. I just talked about *Malignant* yesterday. I know a lot of people aren't going to be into that tone, and I am, and that's totally cool. That's the point of movies. But because the movie sets up a pretty serious movie about this relationship and what she's doing, and then it becomes a cartoon, ridiculous, not realistic at all, how do you balance the two of them? And that's, for me, the biggest issue with this movie. So before I go, guys, please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. I'm going to give The Voyeurs on Amazon Prime a 1 out of 5 stars. I'm just going to give it a 23%, guys. I really did not like this movie. As you can tell, it will be, as of now, in the bottom 10 of the year. I know a lot of people aren't going to have it this low. If you like the genre, go watch it. But for me, the balance of tones and how ridiculous and serious it is just never came together for me. So more reviews, guys. My Kate review will be uploading the same time as this one. You can see my other movie reviews with the playlist right here. I'll see you guys soon.